All right, so standing on the North Mound, looking down at a glacial erratic, very large one, and it's on the North Mound here, on the north side of the North Mound. So beginning the plan to remove the debris off of these spiraling trails and pathways with all of this stone infrastructure kind of guiding the way. So just starting right now with removing moss and fern and understanding what the rock is doing, and all the various tiers. It feels far more engineered relative to its symmetry, so I'm not just assuming it's pure like a bedrock layer. So there's just a lot to process. Could it just be significant till and glacial erratics that made their way up here, like the dolmen? Sure. You can see how this topography and the slope drops right there. We kind of have mapped out what the glacial lakes would have looked like 14,000 years ago. And in our modeling, they come up a little bit closer to shoreline here, down below, down that way. Then I think current sort of 14,000 static points exhibit on agency of natural resource layers. But that's just always because you could have a pattern that says follow a specific topography, and even if that topography gained 100 feet over millennia upon millennia, it could form enough of a theoretical barrier for the algorithm to think water couldn't move up and across it or over it to get into this vacuous area over here, which would have allowed for canals effectively to be routed up through, once you drop off the mezzanine here, down through the bottom terrace. There's a slope cutaway in the meadows, so when you think about how that could have functioned as a canal, that could have meant the ability to utilize water to float stoneworks into position for various features and architectural needs, including up here. And you could have utilized flotation and buoyancy to bring stoneworks up water and floating stoneworks up off of that. It would probably be easier to utilize water to float them down from the quarry, which is right over there. So it's uphill, and it would have been easier to get them here as well as to the north or south mound, because it's sort of right between the two. So dog wants to get going, and I guess I'll follow him for a bit since he's been patient here, and we'll just do a quick little recap on what we're finding here as far as stone walls, 90-degree sharp drops, pathways, echoing, dare I use a AI cliche, whispers of a former civilization. But that happens repetitively throughout all these stoneworks. And you can see like it just drops off here. Let's come back up this side, and plenty of stonework just to kind of evidence what would be a very atypical natural course to just lay up stoneworks in such symmetry. But that's why we need to do the archaeology, and that's not a simple maneuver. So right now, just trying to figure out where we're gonna cut first. And you can see here again, more just straight up sheer 90-degree to the slope. Well, not to the slope, but to a mezzanine sort of base here, forming cribbing. And all the stoneworks that just kind of keep repeating. All right, dog, go ahead. Go. Go, ha, 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 ha. Good. And then that one's a huge one. The fern in here is just really super tall right now because we had done some fire regeneration stuff. And, you know, when you look at the mound from here on the mezzanine, dog, come this way. Easy. Easy. All right, so you can kind of see there's that hill, and off of it are just cascading stoneworks that all hold symmetry underneath all that debris. So moving the debris is the next mission. And all right, dog, come. Then we'll be able to measure things with a greater precision. So let's go up to, we just unearthed, oops, come. Good boy. Fix your rope. Dog got all tangled. Fix it. Fix the rope. Let's go. Good boy. And then go G. G. All the way. Ha. 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 And then we're here. So this just got uncovered. And look at that. There's a triangle dog right at the base of that well, of that carving. So yeah, dolmen's here. It is what it is, folks. Ancient civilization doing ancient civilization stuff. Peace.